Hi, good afternoon. Afnan here from Afnan Aquaponics. I want to give a brief update of what's happening in my aquaponics set. Been quite busy lately because the RMCO has been lifted a bit. I'm start to have to work, and there's also some slight motorcycle mishap on my Triumph Speed Twin. and and a lot of things happening lately. So I want to give some update what happening in my aquaponic system. Right, let's go and have a look. Let's start with my left hand set on the craft system. And I've been planting this few probably a couple of months back. I can't really recall exactly, but I got to check. These are the chili plants that I grow. Is the Kulai variety. They are getting a bit too big, and there are a few chilies. It's a long, thin chilies. You can see here. I only put about 4 or 5 plants in the pots. I'm a bit reluctant to plant these big plants like chilies because they are overcrowding my small setup. But it's okay, they are growing well. Some wilted leaf. I'm using organic spray to control the white flies. And then beside the chili plants, the brinjal. You can see the brinjal plants. There's only one because again it's overcrowded the place, so I can't really put more than one plant. But it's okay. You can see the brinjal is growing, and there are a few more flowers there, and a bit overcrowding is growing a bit very high. My gutter set is without any problem. As you can see, those smaller pots, and they are okay in supplying nutrient to the chili plants, and the leaves are green. There's no sign of iron deficiencies. Okay, there's no problem. The fish in here, the lampam. As I mentioned a few times, lampam is one of the best fish for aquaponics because they are producing very good nutrient for plants. That's probably why the chili plants are very green, and most of these plants are green and does not require much other nutrient. Beside the chili plant, there are the miscellaneous plants, but unfortunately a lot of plants are facing sunlight deficiencies due to tomatoes plant. This in front of me is the tomato plants, and you can see it go way up high, and most probably I made the mistake of selecting a wrong variety. They are growing huge. They're producing tomatoes here and there. You can see there are tomatoes on the setup. More tomatoes over there. I'm trying to put more support, but it's a bit difficult. And as I already mentioned a few times, these bigger plants giving me a lot of headaches. But it's okay. Anyone that want to have more space, they can try out tomatoes. As you can see from these videos, from what I'm showing here, they really can grow in the gutter bed system. And you see, that's the grow bed, the gutter grow bed with a pots, one single pots. I'm putting most of the bigger plants towards the end so that I do not need to take them out when I'm cleaning the gutter bed. It's very critical because it's the bigger the plants, more difficult to take them out. So I just put them at the end of the gutter bed so that when I need to clean the gutter bed, I do not need to disturb those plants. The center tank, the feeder tank, I'm putting the tilapia and some goldfish. This is where I want them to breed. So that's it. The lampam is in here. I hardly can see. Okay, you probably can see the lampam. These are the lampam fish in here. Okay. So far so good. No problem with the lampam fish. It's just that when I feed the lampam, they tend to grab the food quite ferociously. So a lot of splashes around. So that's the lampam, and these are the tilapia in here. I'm trying to see, there are probably some fingerlings or some fish fries. I need to check. On the right hand side, as usual, the tilapia is always hungry. So these are the tilapias that I have. Water is crystal clear on my set. As you can see, don't overfeed the fish. If you tend to overfeed the fish, definitely water will get murky. So these are the tilapia. And the gutter grow bed on the right hand side have the celery plants. These are celery. It's only 3 pots. I only have 3 pots. It's good enough for my household usage. I plant this from market bought celery. It's quite difficult to plant because the root rots, a lot of things happening when you are planting. But these are double potting, where I put another pot on top of one pot on top of another to raise it up, so that there are less chances of root rot occurring. So it works for celery, because celery don't really like water that much, to be immersed in water that much at the around the crown area. So celery, 3 plants of celery is good enough for my household usage. And beside the celery, you have Chinese basil. It's not Chinese basil, it's Thai basil. Thai basil. It's okay. Then that's the Brazilian spinach, chive, the Chinese chive or garlic chive. It's good enough for household. Some herbs at the back and turmeric for their leaf. And there's one reader that want to see what's happening to my rosemary, and you can see I got 4 pots of rosemary here. So rosemary, this one I just planted new from the cuttings of this. These are the original 3 rosemary plants that I grew. They are getting good. I probably have to cut them and to make the plant grow more straight up. It's a lot more than I can use. Actually, it's very easy to grow. Again, rosemary, you have to do double potting, because again it's very susceptible to root rot if it's too much immersed in water. So rosemary having no problem at all growing in my backyard aquaponic, and probably they are growing quite well. You can see the color of the rosemary is quite good. It's green. There's no sign of deficient of nutrient. So most probably I'm going to cut and dry it off and save it for later usage, because if it's like this, later on it will start to die. So I'm going to need to trim it and let it grow fresh branches. Other than that, there's nothing much happening on my aquaponic system, because I just make sure everything run without problem. And yes, everything is running without any problem. I hardly have time to take care of this system, but as you can see, it's running like an autopilot. A siphon is flushing, you can see, and has no problem at all. and it's been great how the system can cope up with the lack of care that been subjected to it. Okay, this is what we want in an aquaponics system, where you can just leave it and let it grow, and it doesn't really need much attention. You need to clean it once in a while if you see the system start to get clogged, but all in all, most probably I just clean it once a month or as and when required, because the plants tend to overgrow, so I have to do a lot of trimmings, that's all. Other than that, I just leave it to grow, and I take the vegetable herbs as I need it, and fish as I need it too. I will only pick them. So these are the things. These are the tilapia. It's good. But as I mentioned, the lampam is good for aquaponics. Only that the lampam is too much bones in it. So, but it gives a lot of good nutrient to the plants. So these are the setup that I'm currently having. Today is 16th of September, Malaysia Day. It's a public holiday, and happy Malaysia Day to all the Malaysians, regardless of where you are. And that's about it for my brief updates. And well, thanks for watching. Bye.